Good morning, students. Today we will be doing chapter number 2 of science, that is components of food. Now components of food means what all are they are present in the different types of food we eat. You must have heard your parents saying that if you don't drink milk, your body will be less in calcium, and so that your teeth will fall off very quickly. Or suppose if you don't eat particular food, that particular food you won't grow, means your height won't increase. So we get these different things. I'm telling things, actually they are nutrients. The name of these different things are known as is called as nutrients. Okay, so we get these different nutrients from the different types of food which we eat. Now what are the different types of food which we eat? We learned in chapter 1. Those were milk, milk products, then cereals that included wheat and rice, then pulses that included different types of dals which you take, sugar, oil, ghee, fish, egg, meat, all these. So these, you see, they are different types of food, and all these different types of food, they have their different components, means they have different nutrients. Now have you ever imagined that what will happen if you eat only wheat, or if you eat only rice? You don't have pulses, you don't have fish, meat, vegetables, or you say different fruits. What will happen to you? Will you be fit? Will your health be okay? No. Our body needs different nutrients for us to be fit, means be healthy. We don't fall ill. Our body can fight with different diseases. So all these things, they are all different. So these all things we get from the different food which we eat, and these things which I am telling again, things I'm not naming them. These things are known as nutrients. So what is nutrients? Nutrients are chemical substance present in food which provide energy and materials needed by the body. Okay. So you have to learn this definition, what is nutrient, and this definition you can't write in your own language. You have to learn this whole sentence. Clear? Now there are 7 components present in the food. Now 7 components means 7 types of nutrients are present in food. What are they? They are carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, mineral, fiber, and water. So different components or the nutrients that are present in our food which we take are these. Can be divided into or grouped into these things: carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, mineral, fiber, and water. Now certain type of food contain only one nutrient. Now the different type of food which we eat, as I told you, cereal like wheat and rice, or pulses, different pulses, or different fruits, vegetables, or sugar, oil. So some of this food contains only one nutrient, but some of them contain more than one nutrient. As for example, you can say meat which you eat is rich in source of protein, but it also contains fat, vitamins, and minerals. Means the main nutrient present in meat is protein, but it is not only protein is present, it also contains fat, it also contains vitamins, and it also contains mineral. Okay, so we can say that a particular food, is not necessary that it contains only one type of nutrient, it contains more than one. Now let's come to carbohydrate, which is the first type of nutrient which we are going to study. Now carbohydrates, what are they? They are energy giving food, energy giving compounds, you can say. Means we all know that you need energy to do any type of work, be it for studying, be it for playing, for walking, for eating. You need energy for everything. Every activity needs energy. Without energy you can't work, or you cannot carry on the work. So where do we get this energy from? We get this energy from the nutrient which is known as carbohydrates. And these carbohydrates are of two types. One is sugars and one is starches. So sugar, just understand that much, that sugar is a simple carbohydrate and starch is a complex carbohydrate. So what we have learned, that carbohydrates are of two types, simple and complex. Simple type is known as sugar and the complex one is known as starch. So you can find it out in this box. The foods rich in carbohydrates are, what are the examples that are rich in carbohydrate? Which are the foods which we eat to get energy? Those are potato, bread, table sugar means a normal sugar which we eat, honey, rice, wheat. We don't eat wheat like that. We eat wheat in the form of chapatis. Milk, jaggery is gur, which we generally say in both Hindi and I suppose in Nepali also you say gur. And fruit like mango, banana and guava. So these are the few fruits. You have many other fruit. If you want to find out, then you can find it out that what are the different types of fruits also. So if your question is asked what is carbohydrate and give examples, then you have to write carbohydrates are energy giving compounds, and there are two types of carbohydrates, that is sugar and starches. And carbohydrate examples are any of the two examples or three examples you can give from the given in the picture or in the book. Now you all like jam, you all like jellies, pizzas, burger, different candies, toffees. So these all are rich in carbohydrate. Why? Because see, the candies, chocolates, these all have high sugar in it. So they are jam, jelly, these all contain sugar. So they are very good in means very high. They contain high quantity of carbohydrates. Similarly, pizzas and burgers, they have lots of cheese and everything. So and they are also rich in this carbohydrate. Then table sugar is the normal sugar which you generally drink in milk or in tea or coffee. Then milk, honey, candies and chocolates also contain sugar. Now, wheat, bread, rice, potato and maize, they are rich in starches. So what are the example of starches? They are wheat, bread, rice, potato and maize. And that of sugar are table sugar, milk, honey, candies and chocolates. So remember this also. Okay. Now how can you prove that there is starch in something, in some food item? What will you do? How will you do that test? For doing that test, what you have to do, you have to take a small quantity or quantity of a food item, any food item which you want to test whether they have starch in them or not. So the best example which you can take is a piece of potato or a bread, and in a small dish, in a small plate, then put 2 or 3 drops of dilute iodine solution on the food item. Means on this food item you have to drop 2 or 3 drops of iodine solution. Okay. And what will you observe? You will observe that the color of this bread or the potato where this iodine solution has fallen will turn blue black. Okay, blue black. This shows, when you get that blue black thing, it shows that food item contains starch. Okay. Now this they have told you can do it at home, but I will say don't try it. if it's possible, I'll try to do and show it to you. Then I'll send you the video, or if not, then I'll send you the video from somewhere else. So I hope you understood till here what are carbohydrates, what are different nutrients of food. So let's come to the next nutrient, that is fat. Now fat are also energy giving compound. So I told you carbohydrates are energy giving compound. Similarly, fats are also energy giving compound, and they give much more energy than the carbohydrates. Means whatever energy the carbohydrate gives us, fat gives us much more than that. Okay. Now, what are the foods that are rich in fat? That includes milk products such as butter, ghee and cheese, meat, vegetable oil such as groundnut oil, coconut oil, dry fruits like cashew nuts and almond. Cashew nut is kaju, which we say generally. Almond is the badam, which we say, not the groundnut. These are the almonds. You must have seen this. So these are almonds. Okay, these are also nuts. Now, if you have the question that means what is the definition of fat, then here it's given here. They are energy. You just write fats are energy giving compounds. They produce more energy than carbohydrate. When we no, you don't need to write this one. Just write this one. Fat stored in body keep the body warm. So for the definition of fats, you will write this point, and this point, and plus give example. Whenever you are giving in science, particularly whenever you are writing a definition, you have to give examples. Otherwise, your definition is thought to be half the definition. Even if you don't give the examples, you have to. It's necessary that you give examples. Now, as we had tasted, we had done a taste to see the presence of starch. Similarly, our aim means what is our objective or what we want to see. We want to see that taste for the presence of fat in the food item. So, what are the things we need? We need a small amount of food item, butter or a drop of oil, a piece of white paper. Now, this experiment can be done by you easily. You can do it. Procedure. Procedure means what is the method for doing this activity or this experiment? Rub a small amount of butter on it or put a drop of oil on a piece of white paper. Take any white paper which you have. Even if you have the single line paper, that also will do. Means you don't take a printed paper, any blank paper, and on that put a drop of oil and let the paper dry for some time. Then you take that paper in front of the source of light, means in front of a torch or the candle. You can take in front of the candle also. You will see, what you will see, the portion where you had dropped the oil has become translucent. Now, do you remember what's the meaning of translucent? Translucent is that those objects through which we can see what is on the other side, but it is not clear. We can see what is on the other side of the translucent object or the transparent medium when it is transparent. So, the glass which you have in your classrooms, in the windows, that are transparent, because you can easily through from one side to another side. But the translucent are those from where you can't see. It's partially clear, means you can see something is on the other side, but you can't make it out. Okay. So what is the inference? Inference means what is the conclusion? That on this paper fat is present. Because if you can do one thing, on a piece of paper, drop put a drop of oil on one piece of paper. On another similar piece of paper, put a drop of water. Let it dry. Let both the papers dry for some times. Then after that, see both the paper through this light. You will see the one that has oil will become translucent. and the one that has without oil, on which the water was there will be no change in the paper. The paper won't become translucent. Okay, it will remain opaque, means you cannot see what's on the other side. So this you can do it. You can do this experiment. Now let's come to protein. What are proteins? Protein is the third type of nutrients which we are going to study. So food rich in protein are called body building food. So proteins are, in other ways we can say, they are body building food. And why are proteins required by our body? They are required for the growth and repair of body tissues. Means if we don't take protein in good amount, your height won't increase. Okay, so you have to eat protein very nicely. And nowadays in the COVID situation also, doctors are saying that you should have a good intake of protein. And other than growth, what does it help? This protein to repair the body tissues. Inside our body, there are some many a times there are wear and tear, means the tissues get damaged due to sudden some you went and hit something, or somebody hit you. So it may happen due to that your body tissue gets damaged, and that is repaired. It has to be repaired. So it is repaired by the help of the protein that we take. It also regulates the body function, means the different body functions which all goes on in our body, those also are regulated, means controlled, and help to complete those things with the help of the protein. The third is to protect the body from infection. So protein also helps our body to protect from infection. That's why you see, now you understand why the doctors nowadays they are telling you to have more and more protein, because this COVID is very infectious, and so they are telling you to have more and protein so that your body can be protected from any infection. Okay. Now, like carbohydrate and fat, protein also provide energy. Now, protein also provides energy, but not as much as this carbohydrate and fat. From where can we get this protein? Protein can be obtained from plants as well as animal sources. Animal sources and plant sources means from different plants and from different animals. Now, what are the different plant sources? You see, the plant sources are the green gram, soya bean, peas, gram. These are the different sources, means these are from here. These are some of the things from where you get protein. And if you talk about the animal sources, they will be milk, cheese, egg, fish, meat. So these are the few of the things from where we get the protein from animal sources. Clear? So here they have again given you the same example which we have discussed now. Now the third experiment, it shows how can you show, as you have seen, how can you prove that fat is present in the body. So similarly, how can you show that this protein is present in the food item, not in the body, sorry, it's in the food item. So what all you require? Food item that has to be tasted, means on which you want to do the test and find out whether it has protein or not. Copper sulfate solution, sodium hydroxide solution, water, test tube and dropper. This test again can't be done at home. So because you don't have those chemicals, that copper sulfate solution, sodium hydroxide solution, you don't have a test tube, you don't have a dropper, so you can't do this thing at home. Just understand this experiment. Now what is the process? Procedure means method. What is the method? How we can do it? How we can carry on this experiment? Now take the food item in a test tube. Whatever food you want to check whether it has protein or not, you take it in a test tube. Test tube, you see, it's like this. It's of a glass. This thing is of glass. This is made of a glass. So now you put the food item in the test tube. Then you and if the food item is solid, then you have to make a paste of it and put it in the test tube and put some water on it. Now shake the test tube very well, means you shake it like this nicely. Add 2 to 3 drops of copper sulfate solution and then 10 to 12 drops of sodium hydroxide solution to the test tube. Now when the food item is there, when it is there in the test tube after you have added water, first you have to add 5 to 10, sorry, you have to add 2 to 3 drops of copper sulfate solution and then 5 to 10 to 12 drops of caustic soda, that is sodium hydroxide solution in the test tube. Then we shake it well and leave it for few minutes. What we will see, the food item present in the test tube have turned to purple or violet. This proves that protein is present in the food item. Okay. So again we have vitamins, minerals, fiber. Let me see. Okay, let's stop till here. Till protein, we'll continue in the next chapter, next class.